Chongqing is a fantastic place. Granted, I've only spent a day here, but what a day. There was so much to do, and I'm not just talking about the sights. It was the everyday people and everyday places which seemed so unique. On my first day in Chongqing, I was very busy exploring the sights in the city centre. The shops of the modern metropolis, the markets, the Stillwell Museum, and Hongyandong in particular. Now, I've got a bit more time today, so I'm going to head a bit further out and see what the rest of Chongqing has to offer. Like most places in Chongqing, Ciqikou Old Town is perched on a hill. This one overlooking the Jianling River in the west of the city. Chongqing is changing day by day. Literally overnight, you'll find brand new skyscrapers or big shopping malls just sprouting out of nowhere. However, if you do want to look at how Chongqing used to be over 100 years ago, then come to Ciqikou. It's situated about 15 to 20 minutes from the town centre and is really worth to really catch a glimpse of old school Chongqing. It dates back to the late Ming dynasty around the 15th century AD. In my view, this is the place to come if you really want a taste of traditional Chongqing. Tea houses, dragon dances and temple fairs all make this a great place to really soak up the atmosphere of old Chongqing. So I've just had a brief explanation of what Ciqikou stands for, and apparently, well no, literally Ciqi means porcelain, and Kou in this context means port, and it was given this name because back in the day, several hundred years ago, it was one of China's main porcelain ports for transportation. And right here beside me we have a very jolly depiction of how things used to look, but I'm not really sure I would have fitted in. A lot of muscle going on around here. Huh? Formerly a porcelain production and distribution centre and port, it is filled with flagstones, 100-year-old streets and wooden buildings. Ancient depictions of the town show it as a hub of activity, and it really is. There's commotion everywhere. It's one of the few times I'll ever advise you to search out the crowds, strangely enough. I really do recommend coming here at the weekend. You'll find the entire area teeming with tourists and locals, but it will above all be a way to see how little has changed over the past couple of 100 years. The crowds were there then, and they're here now. For many locals, this is the heart of Chongqing, which is why it's also known as Little Chongqing. So, I'm right at the edge of the river, here in the heart of Ciqikou Port. Now, back in the day, this place would have been teeming, full of people carrying porcelain goods onto the ships and taking them off again. Now, not a huge amount has changed in the last couple of 100 years. Certainly, there's a lot less porcelain, but everyone is still, it's still completely alive here down by the water. And people come for a cup of tea, have a chat with some friends, and just enjoy the weekend like today. Right, so once you've got your bearings, follow the main road down to the river, and you'll really get a taste of what the Chongqing people enjoy doing at the weekend. Like most activities in the city, it's all about getting together with friends and relaxing. Here you can find old and young playing cards and mahjong, chatting away and just taking the atmosphere in. There's all sorts of fun to be had by everyone. It's particularly enjoyable to watch families spending time together. Grandparents, parents and children on a typical Chongqing weekend. This road is a hustle and bustle incarnate, filled with shops, restaurants, street performers, and every type of stall under the sun. The commercial street is perfect if you want to pick up some gifts to give to friends. You can find traditional Chongqing souvenirs, as well as typically Chinese memorabilia. Now, if you like putting on weight or love going to the dentist, then you'll be in high heaven here. Where are you from? From India. What are you doing all the way down in Chongqing? Wow. There's an absolute plethora of snacks and sweets to be enjoyed all along the main road. The beauty of the area is that once you veer off the populated high street, you'll be hit by a lived-in Ciqikou. People going about their daily lives, barely acknowledging that hordes of tourists are roaming the nearby streets. It's with a touch of luck and some inside knowledge from our tour guide that we head to a traditional Sichuan Opera. This is an experience, to say the least. At first, it feels like some local open call auditions for something bigger, as several different people take to the stage and entertain the crowd. The fact is, this is very much a local production for the locals. It's certainly worth seeing some of the show, as you can be treated to the famous art of Bian Lian, or face changing as it's more commonly known. Face changing was first used in a story about a hero who stole from the rich to help the poor. When he was caught, he changed his face to confuse his captors and escaped as a result. I have no idea how this face changing works, and am informed that it's actually a secretive art form that requires extensive training. Very impressive. From Ciqikou, I head back to Nanbinglu, taking in the sights of the river beside me and the alluring lights. I'm very excited about my first taste of Chongqing's most famous dish, hot pot and night views. What else could a man want? Now, hot pot is Chongqing's favourite dish. It's eaten all year round, even in the summer months, when most of us are cowering by our air conditioners eating ice cream. You can find hot pot restaurants all over Chongqing and all over China, but no one eats hot pot like Chongqingers. Now, when you come to Chongqing, you'll find that pretty much everybody eats hot pot. And hot pot's what we've got in front of us. It's the kind of thing where you get together with some friends, or head to a restaurant, pick out some fresh dishes like we've got here, and then just tuck in. Just throw some things right in to this chili sauce they have here, chili oil. Now, I've had a little explanation of what hot pot is, and essentially speaking, it does differ in each of the different regions. But here we have hot chili oil, put in the vegetables. If it's too hot for you, you can have it into what they call the milder broth. And then you stick it in this sauce. Now, the sauces differ in every region, but here in Chongqing, they like to put sesame oil with garlic and MSG, and that helps to cool the actual, to make it cooler, and also to make it less hot, chili hot, which is a good thing, I think. Hey, how often do you eat hot pot?
2 or 3 times in 1 week.
2 or 3 times in 1 week?
Yeah.
Wow, what age do you first eat hot pot?
When I was 7 years old.
7 years old?
Yeah.
你有几岁？你先吃这个辣的火锅，你有几岁？5岁，我5岁开始吃。5岁， 不可能，是吗？
我女儿3岁就开始吃这个了。
Okay, so the first time he ate the hot bit of the hot pot, the chili bit, he was 5 years old, and he just told me that his daughter started at 3. She just had her first hot pot at 3 years old. Unbelievable! I can't even eat it at my age. Unbelievable! Oh, 这么厉害.
Don't worry though if spice isn't your thing. Just tell the waiter you're pa la, and they'll bring the lighter broth, as it literally means scared of spice. Eating hot pot is almost exclusively a group affair. In all my time in Chongqing, I never once saw people eating hot pot on their own. You can go to certain restaurants that serve individual hot pots, but you'll still find people eating in groups. The thing I loved about the hot pot is that it's inherently a lot of fun to eat. It's full of life and action as you fish around for different types of food. All the ingredients are fresh and organic. Hot pot does differ from place to place. Some areas prefer using fish over meat, and others use different types of sauce to cool the food down. In my view, it's a wonderful type of meal to have, and I had an absolute blast celebrating my birthday, Chongqing style, with hot pot and cake.
Thanks guys.
I was very touched by the thoughtfulness of the people there, and it really was a genuine surprise when the cake came up. I think I seem a little embarrassed to be caught so unawares.
谢谢你们。
If you've got a bit of time to spare, head west for about 100 kilometers and you'll come to Dazu County.
Well, finally made it to Baodingshan, and it's situated about 100 kilometers west of Chongqing, so it's taken us 2 hours. This is as far as our car will go, but I'm going to get to the top with this wonderful little electric car over here, which is free, so I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
It's the place to view some 50,000 Buddhist cliff sculptures dating back hundreds of years, which are carved into caves and overhangs in the surrounding lush green hills. There are buses every half hour from Chongqing that take roughly 2 hours to get to the grotto art of Dazu County.
Right, we made it. Time to walk to the carvings.
There are 5 sections in all that have these rock carvings, but most people tend to go to 2 out of the 5, namely Baodingshan and Beishan.